Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Spilling Tea with Chris G, and tonight I'm going over Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 6. We're in the second episode. Of course, I'm going to be hitting you guys with my top five highlights, and I'm going to be spilling that piping hot tea during my highlights, so let's get started. So for my first highlight, I'm going to kind of go out of sequence, you guys, because I need to go over this Kirk and Rashida situation. Rodney and Jasmine had met up. And they were basically, Rodney was explaining the story of how he was locked up for 9 months, and it was like 8 or 9 months that he was locked up, and he was in a relationship with Jasmine at the time, but she did go ahead and slip out on him, and then by the time he had came home, his whole life had changed. And he was saying at first he was mad about this baby situation because he felt like, that's my girl. How could you sit up there and get pregnant by somebody else? But then, he ended up falling in love with the baby, and he's been acting like the dad when actually he's saying that this is also Kirk's baby. Now, him and Jasmine, they were sitting down talking, and she was saying, basically told him what happened at the masquerade party. Told Rodney, that she ended up telling everybody, and Kirk was acting like he didn't even know who she was. And so Rodney was like, well, you kind of put that upon yourself because you knew what was going to happen. I mean, he's a married man, you're in front of his friends, and you're telling them that you have a baby, with him. So you kind of already knew that was going to happen. Now, I agree with Rodney. You kind of put yourself in that situation. You were getting hush money, it was all good, and now what are you doing? So I don't know, you guys. Now Jasmine, they had, now I'm kind of glad that I'm filming it now because Familos had someone had wrote in one of Rashida's cousins, and she had basically had recordings of Jasmine and Kirk talking, and Kirk was saying, I got a lot of stress going on, and I'm trying to get the money up, I'm paying the car insurance, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that, and it was his voice. So yeah, I think this Connor baby with the K is Kirk's baby. On to my second highlight. Speaking of baby talk, so Joseline and Stevie, they finally meet up. And Joseline had invited Stevie to the baby shower, but she was just upset because she was like, I haven't seen you in a long time. It's hard being pregnant, and I don't have a baby father in my life, and it's okay if you don't want to be in Bonnie Bella's life or not, because I think I'm moving to Miami. And so Stevie J was like, wait, what? Okay, so Joseline, she just like pressed on the gas. She was like, I want a paternity test, and I'm moving to Miami, and I don't care if you're in her life or not. So Stevie is saying, well, I live in Atlanta, and I want to be in all my children's lives. And even if that is my baby, I still want to, if she's my baby, I want her in my life as well. So I don't think that's a good choice. Now, I mean, unless they bring in Love and Hip Hop Miami, Joseline, I think the best choice would be to stay in Atlanta. You're doing such a good job. You're on Fox, Star. You're on, so many different TV shows like Hip Hop Hollywood Squares. I mean, you're doing really good from the highlight that Love and Hip Hop has brought to you. So I don't know if that's a good move myself, but Joseline and Stevie had stayed the night together after everything. They, she had met up with Melissa, and she told her, they didn't do anything, but Joseline stole Stevie's drawers to go ahead and get that DNA test. And her snapback body after her baby is crazy. And also, a few of her family members had babies around the same time as Bonnie Bella, including her brother. So now she is also an aunt as well. So congratulations to Joseline. On to my third highlight. In that order, Momma Dee was out there doing a Soul Train line in the middle of the street, y'all, with a sequin jumpsuit on, getting it in. her and Ernest are kind of not on good terms still. As you guys know, last season, her and Ernest were struggling with their marriage, and they are still struggling with their marriage. Ernest was saying because of his health is contributing to a lot of the issues. But Momma Dee is saying that, but she was happy that he booked her the gig, but she's saying that it's his mother that's coming in between them. So Ernest had sat down with Momma Dee after her little performance, and he told her that basically his mom is moving back to Atlanta. She's selling her house in Florida and she's moving to Atlanta. So of course Momma Dee had got mad, and if I was listening correctly, I think she said, if your mama could suck your bleep better than I can, we could have a threesome. I was like, girl, we're not doing that. That's something we're definitely not doing. After that though, she had met up with Scrappy and she was just telling him about the mama situation. But Scrappy was saying that's kind of funny because you always meddling in my business, but when somebody else meddles in your business, that's an issue. So I thought that was kind of funny. But also Scrappy had took that step to walk through the door and let Momma Dee know that it might not be a wedding because him and Bambi have been going through a lot of things. And from social media, looks like they are no longer together. Looks like Scrappy is single and he had his blonde hair on the top and he's trying to do Odell Beckham and he's just out there in them streets. Momma Dee had brought up the idea that she wanted to go ahead and have a dinner and invite everyone. So that's what she did. She had a dinner. It was her, Ernest mama, and Scrappy. Bambi did not come. But ultimately, Momma Dee was not happy with anything that was going on with Ernest and his mama. She feels like Ernest is choosing his mother over her. So she ended up pulling out a diaper, a onesie, and saying that Ernest's mama can finally have her son back. On to my fourth highlight. Tommy and her mama had got into it. So we finally got to meet Tommy's mom, and it wasn't a good meeting. Tommy was in jail, you guys know, due to Joseline having a restraining order, and then it turned into a warrant because Tommy didn't show up for court, and then it just turned into like this whole, just snowballed out of control. But basically, Tommy was released because she has a bail bondsman on retainer. I know I've heard an attorney being on retainer, but a bail bondsman? So bails are out and Tommy comes home, and Tommy was saying that, she tried to call everybody and the only person that picked up was Stevie, but Stevie of course was out of town because he was doing the bad boy tour at the time. And so the mother had got mad. I don't really know where it kind of came from, but her mom had got mad because she was saying, like, I'm sitting up here watching your kids and while you sitting up there in jail. And Tommy was like, I bailed you out plenty of times. Like, I have bailed you out plenty of times. And so she said that her mama was Joanne the Scammer, the original. Now, my thing is, Tommy, not to be talking about people's mamas, but I will say this. Anytime somebody has a patch in their forehead, like in the middle here, they have nothing to lose, darling. Linda, listen, they have nothing to lose, Linda, and they just gonna be out here in them streets, don't care. And her mama was like, I'm ready to go to blows, and Tommy started taking off her shoes, like, y'all really gonna sit up there and fight? So, if her mama had on some, what do they call them kaleidoscope miracle drops and a lace closure, maybe that would have been a different story, because her mom wouldn't want to mess up her weave or her closure and then, so maybe that would have been a different outcome. But eventually, just like Tommy had kicked out her friend Mary Jane, her mama had to go too. So her mama sure did leave. Now Tommy was explaining, she was raised up in group homes. She raised herself basically since she was 16. She was out in the streets, and she learned everything from other people out in the streets, not her mom. So they just kind of have like a crazy relationship. Now Tommy had met up with KK to discuss, what was going on with her mom. But, at the end of the day, there's just a lot of issues. And like KK was saying, there's a lot of problems there. And Tommy is drinking, and the mother got issues, and, it's just a lot. And they really do probably need some counseling. On to my fifth highlight. Karlie met up with Jasmine, and she was saying that, I would just want to make sure this is kind of legit, because I feel like, after what Mimi was telling me about Rodney being a scammer and all this, that something is wrong here. Jasmine was saying that Rodney is not a scammer, and that actually it is true. She had showed Karlie text messages from Kirk. Now, she wouldn't show him or show her the phone number because he's texting from a totally different phone that Rashida doesn't know. She was saying that she had video of Kirk holding the baby, and he was saying Dada, and he was there. Also, she was just showing her insurance cards where Kirk's name is on there, where he's paying for her auto insurance for her car, just showing all types of receipts. Basically, like Rashida's cousin did, showing pictures and receipts of purses that Kirk has been buying this chick. I mean, he basically Peter Guns. He's basically Peter Guns of the South. I mean, he done moved the chick in the same condo, just like Tara moved in the same condo tower as Amina and Peter. Jasmine moved in the same tower as Rashida and Kirk. So I think he's the Peter Guns of the South. Also, Jock had met, like I said, with Rod. Rodney showing him the video, and young Jock, of course, is like, oh no, you could have like transposed his face up onto the video. I don't know. But Rodney was also saying, no, that is Kirk's baby because I was locked up. Now, Karlie, she got to go ahead and go, she hit her girl Rashida up, hit her up. And finally, Rashida finally went to go meet with her. And I think Rashida, she was just kind of scared to know the outcome of it. So she went and met up with her, and Karlie told her, yeah, I've seen the video. I've seen the text messages. This is a true story. This is real. This is not a drill, people. This is too real, and that it definitely could be Kirk's baby. Now, from the past season, when Rashida was pregnant, he went ahead and had got a DNA test on Carter because he didn't trust Rashida. So my thing is, I'm pretty sure Kirk went ahead and got a paternity test on this baby Connor. That's another thing too. That's why I just don't think that this is a scam. I think that for real, he truly does have another kid outside of his marriage. Now, Rashida, had she been paying attention, I feel like, to the bank account and stuff, because previous seasons, again, she's talking about, oh, I didn't know we were over budget and this and that. No, girl, you need to be, I'm be all up in your business. I'm Inspector Gadget. Where is this money going? What is going on? Moving $2, $3, $4, and $5,000, and I don't see it coming back into the house, or I don't see nothing coming from it. Like, what is really going on? Now, Rashida, she went ahead and set up a dinner for Kirk. And she started confronting him, and that's when the episode ended. It kind of left it right there. Yeah, I feel like, at first I was like, man, these must be some real scammers because I don't understand, but in the end, I kind of think that it's something. I mean, I definitely believe this whole time that Kirk for sure slept with that girl. From Lake House history, I for sure thought, yes, he slept with that girl. And she pretty too, you know what I'm saying? She got a lot of pictures up on her Instagram and stuff. She's real pretty, got a little baby up on there. She's real cute. So I think that definitely that could be the case. And I personally think that Kirk went ahead and got a paternity test. And I believe that that could be Kirk's kid. And you know what? I think Rashida knew about it, and that was awesome. Hush, hush. But VH1 said, we'll go ahead and pay you that money if you drop that storyline. So I don't know. We'll have to keep waiting for this whole situation to unfold. Maybe we'll be proven wrong. Maybe they'll take a paternity test on the show, and maybe it won't be his kid. That's it. Please make sure you subscribe. Our Facebook page, Spilling Tea with Chris G, KRYSG. Have a good night.